Welcome to Weird Time. Today we're going to talk about a real-life encounter that defies explanation. A story that has left skeptics scratching their heads and believers in awe. This is the true story of the Pascagoula Abduction. On October 11th, 1973, two men, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker, were fishing on the banks of the Pascagoula River in Mississippi. It was a calm, clear night, and they were hoping for a quiet evening by the water. But what they experienced that night would change their lives forever. As they sat on the riverbank, a strange bluish light appeared in the sky. They thought it was a helicopter or a plane, but the light moved in a way that no aircraft could. It descended rapidly and stopped just a few feet above the ground. One eyewitness described it as a football-shaped craft about 30 to 40 feet long with blinding lights. Charles and Calvin were paralyzed with fear, unable to move or scream. According to their accounts, the craft emitted a loud, buzzing noise, and three strange beings emerged. These beings were like nothing they had ever seen before. Humanoid in shape, but with rough, wrinkled skin, claw-like hands, and no eyes. They floated just above the ground and moved towards the men. The beings grabbed Charles and Calvin, who later described feeling a sense of calm wash over them. Despite their initial terror, they were taken aboard the craft and subjected to a bizarre examination. The beings used what seemed to be some kind of scanning device on them, which caused them no pain but left them with a deep sense of unease. Inside the craft, the environment was stark and otherworldly. The walls were smooth and metallic, with no visible seams or rivets. Strange symbols and lights adorned the interior, casting an eerie glow. The examination felt like it lasted an eternity, but in reality, it was only about 20 minutes. After the examination, Charles and Calvin were taken back to the riverbank and released. The craft ascended quickly, disappearing into the night sky as suddenly as it had appeared. The men were left stunned, disoriented, and forever changed by the experience. In a state of shock, they went straight to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office to report the incident. Skeptical, at first, the officers listened to their story but noticed the men were genuinely terrified. They decided to separate Charles and Calvin to see if their stories would differ. The sheriff even put them in different separate rooms, and their stories matched perfectly. The level of detail and consistency was astonishing. They were clearly not making this up. The sheriff's office secretly recorded their conversations, hoping to catch them in a lie. Instead, the recordings captured the men's raw fear and confusion as they tried to process what had happened to them. News of the encounter spread quickly, attracting attention from the media, UFO enthusiasts, and skeptics alike. The men underwent polygraph tests, hypnosis, and extensive interviews. Charles Hickson even agreed to a voice stress analysis, all of which supported their story. One expert said the consistency of their accounts and the physiological reactions they exhibited strongly suggest that they truly believed what they were saying. Whether or not it was genuine extraterrestrial encounter remains a topic of debate. For years, the Pascagoula abduction has become one of the most well-documented and compelling UFO cases in history. Skeptics have tried to explain it away as a hoax or hallucination, but no conclusive evidence has been found to debunk the men's claims. Calvin Parker, who was only 19 at the time, has mostly shunned the spotlight, preferring to keep a low profile. In recent years, however, he has opened up more about the experience, providing even more details that lend credibility to their story. In an interview, Calvin Parker said he spent his whole life trying to make sense of what happened that night. He said, "I know it sounds unbelievable, but I stand by my account. We were taken by something out of this world." Pascagoula abduction is a fascinating case that continues to intrigue and baffle those who study it. The fear and trauma experienced by Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker were real, and their stories have remained consistent over decades. The case raises many questions. Why were these men chosen? What was the purpose of their examination? And perhaps most intriguingly, what other encounters have gone unreported or disbelieved? Whether you believe in extraterrestrial encounters or not, the Pascagoula abduction stands as a compelling testament to the unknown. It challenges our understanding of reality and forces us to consider the possibility that we're not alone in the universe. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay weird. See you next time.